Now that
Yeah,
injury,
no,
that
he's not going
injury
to get it
took him
this
out
year,
of it.
but you have to admit, like, the Lakers, they didn't have LeBron, and they just were resting on the laurels of Lonzo Ball.
Yeah,
Oh, my gosh. I'm
they'd be
sorry.
in
They
trouble.
probably only have, like, 12 wins right now.
They'd be in trouble. So let's hit the next topic real quick. This is a big one here. Last week when I heard this news drop on the news wire, I thought I was being trolled. I thought it was a game. I thought it was something that you would only see on TMZ and nowhere else. And the news came out about Robert Kraft and the massage parlor, and it turns out that there was a sting, and he'd gone there to get a massage, but apparently got a little bit more than a massage. And at the end of the day, they have evidence that he supposedly was going there and then getting massages. Now, with that being said, I'm like, I don't really want to talk about that because I only like to talk about things that are related to sports. You start getting into that, then it's like a whole nother type of show, But in the meantime, today, information comes out that brings the story right back to sports. And what they said was that the day of the AFC Championship game, that morning, Robert Kraft...
That's exactly what I was looking at.
He rode up there with his Bentley.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. I got to read this. ESPN is reporting. All right. Authorities say New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft visited a Florida massage parlor for sex acts on the morning of the AFC Championship game, which he attended in Kansas City later that day. According to documents released by the Palm Beach State Attorney's Office on Monday, it was the second visit for Kraft in less than 24 hours.
They give good massages.
The documents say Kraft arrived at the Orchids of Asia Day Spa in a chauffeured 2015 blue Bentley at 11 a.m. on January 20th.
That's right.
He was videotaped receiving oral and manual sex from a woman at the spa in Jupiter. Officials say he gave her a $100 bill and another bill before leaving at 11:15 a.m.
In his defense, he says that he did not do that. So that's what we have to go on at the moment.
Before we go on, at one point, I lived in an apartment that was across the street from a video store. Okay? A video store. And they had the peep joints, right?
Okay.
So I'm always by the window. I started to notice this one guy that would come and go 4-5 times a day.
Are you about to drop names?
No, I don't know. I have no idea who he is.
I thought this was breaking
But
news.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, does this dude not know about the internet? 4 or 5 times a day coming back.
That's insanity.
Insanity. But when you're like this, it's an illness.
You know
and
what?
that's where Robert Kraft is.
You know what?
He went twice and he went twice.
I thought about this. I thought about it from another perspective. First of all, okay, so my mom passed, so my dad is single. So I thought about it like, all right, he's an older guy, 70-something years old. He's 70, right? 70-something? 70-something years old. I'm thinking, all right, so he maybe doesn't know how to holler and meet somebody like you used to. My dad was married for 48 years. It's not the same. I try to coach my dad now on that. So I was like, you know what? Old guy, he seems like he's cool. He kind of got caught out there. Maybe he doesn't want to buy flowers and do special things. Like maybe he's just like, I'm just going to do this and get to the game because I don't have time. So I thought I'd just look at it like, no big deal.
You know what? Let's let Doug get a breath in before I say something else.
Doug, tell me what you think. Do you agree with me? Is this something that is not that big of a deal? Or how are you feeling?
No. I think it's a huge deal. Because, first of all, let's look at it like this. What if Chandler Jones or Sony Michelle did that the day before the game, right? Would the collective media be like, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal, because he had this thing that's happened in his life, this, that, and the third. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. His wife passed away in 2011. This is 2019, and with all this man's billions or billions, you mean to tell me that he couldn't drive up somewhere in a Rolls Royce or sail up to a port in his yacht and, I don't know, just open the door and then have people come in? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, you're right. Literally, all he has to do is show up to any place. But that could also be part of his reasoning because he knows that this is a clean-cut transaction compared to the gold digger route.
It is. It's cheaper too.
But even if he didn't go that route, he still doesn't have to go that route. Like, okay, at any NFL stadium, just like I'm sure at any NBA stadium, there are probably scads of young women that are just perusing around outside of the skybox clubhouse seats, just hoping for the chance to be invited in, right? Now, do they have the same profession as the people that he found in Florida? Probably not. All he has to do is open up the door and say, "Excuse me, would you ladies like to come and join me, please? Would you like to have dinner with me, please?" How hard is that?
That's it.
That's not that hard.
That's really it.
Here's what the problem is, Doug. This is the problem. The issue is that he doesn't have friends. He doesn't have what I call my boys, right? I need to sign him up for the Joe Louis, I'm your boy, platinum package. You can call me 24 hours a day. Hey, listen, I just met a girl last night. She tells me she loves me. What do you think? Nah, Rob, you got to get out of there. That's not the one for you. Hey, I bought her a $5,000 pair of shoes. Nah, Rob, too soon. Got to take that back. What, you going to go get a massage the day of the game? You don't want to be seen there, Rob. Don't do that. That's what he needs. He doesn't have anybody to give him direction.
Right.
He's got everything else covered. Best franchise in sports, runs it smoothly, yachts, planes, jets, everything. And that's the only thing.
He should have called Meek Mill.
Some common sense. What the man needs is all I'm saying.
What does
right?
he need?
Because just like I said earlier, like if any one of us decided that we were gonna, take like 3 months pay and rent a Ferrari and drive around Atlanta for 2 weeks or whatever, if we were single or whatnot, I'm sure we could make something happen without resorting to those levels.
2 hours, Doug. 2 hours. Doug, wait a minute. Give me 20 minutes in that Ferrari. Give me 20 minutes in that Ferrari.
There you go. There you go.
So what does the league do?
You know what to do without having to go to a massage parlor. How about that?
So what do you do? So what does the league do? What do you think is a fair punishment for him in light of the precedents that have been set in the past? Like Jim Irsay was pulled over for a DUI. He had oxy in his system and some other things. Drugs that prescription drugs that he shouldn't have been using. He got $500,000 fine, six game suspension. What do you think?
I think they should come down on him, but it's hard to say really because Irsay got what games for driving under the influence.
6, yeah.
Whereas Tom Brady got what 4 games for somebody else deflating air from a football. I mean, come on.
Irsay's was worse.
But then,
yeah, that was bad.
Irsay's was worse, obviously. But then Big Ben, who everyone knows sexually assaulted the 2 women within 19-month time span, also got 4 games.
Alleged.
So, right, they say allegedly, but but I'm just like, okay, so how do you mitigate that? I don't know. 4 games for Ben, but 4 games for Tom, but 6 games for Irsay. I don't understand. Ray Rice got 2 games, and then it turned into indefinite. Goodell, it's a crapshoot trying to figure out what's going on with him. But I have a feeling that due to his hatred of the Patriots for no apparent reason, he's going to try to come down hard in class. That's what I think.
We'll see. What do you think, Joey?
Irsay's is worse. So, and the suspension is meaningless.
Nah.
It's really about the fine and putting the league in a negative light.
Right.
I say that's a negative light.
It's a negative light. But I'm like kind of caught in between now. It's stupid. It's wrong. So it's breaking the law, which is the most important thing.
Depending on where you are, because he could have gone to Vegas.
Right. But he is single. He is dealing with the loss of a long-time partner.
He's cool with Meek Mill. He hangs out with Cardi B at the Super Bowl weekend.
That's who he should have stayed with them.
But
they would have showed him what to do.
But it's not like it just happened with his wife, and he's at home climbing the walls, not knowing what to do because it's Thursday, and that's when they normally, it's not like that. Like that happened in 2011, and this is 2019.
Dude, grief is like that. I mean, grief. There's no statute of limitations on grief. It can go a long time.
Right.
Like he could be dealing with this forever.
I'm not saying that there's a statute. I'm just saying that the man has obviously even been photographed and whatnot in the company of women who were not of that profession many times before at banquets and all this other stuff, companions, girlfriends, this, that, and the third. You mean to tell me that he couldn't do the same thing?
Guess what? Guess what I just thought.
Really? In Florida?
What'd you think?
he might have a fetish for women
Yeah.
of a certain ethnicity.
I think so.
There's no excuse.
No
When you have
excuse,
$1 billion in the bank, you can find a purple woman if you want.
You can just fly to
Green.
Korea. Just get on your plane.
Like
Go
you
to Korea.
can find anything you want.
You could buy a 747 that has a blunt the size of half the wing and smoke it in there.
Yeah,
right? With people.
You're right.
If you want to. That's probably why he talks so slow. You notice how he talks when he gets on the mic is a little slow.
Not going there with you.
Want to go down to Florida
going there.
and give him a massage. I'm like, dude.
One more incident, and Bob Kraft is going to get his hood card.
He got his.
He's close to getting the card.
I think he already has it
He's
because
close to getting
Meek
the
Mill,
card.
Meek Mill gave him a chain.
Okay.
And he also has been fighting for rights for people that are going to jail,
Right.
and with poor sentences and probation and stuff.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
That's true too. But he also, but like I was thinking earlier, he also hung out Malcolm Butler to dry. There's no explanation as to why that man was froze out of the Super Bowl. They also didn't give Randy Moss a contract and made him seem like he was the same problem kid that came from Oakland. So I really don't understand what Robert Kraft's doing. Oh, and he also okayed the drafting of Aaron Hernandez, who everybody knew was a criminal at the University of Florida, apparently, except for the Patriots.
I'm going to put all that on Belichick, though. He's the real boss.
Yeah.
He's the real boss.
Well,
Yeah.
Kraft is just the investor.
Yep. Well, that's all I got.
Here's what I was just thinking. Anna Nicole Smith married a guy who was like 95 and at his death's door.
And started
and the
feeding
man,
butter.
with all his brilliance, still had enough logic and
Butter
common
smoothies?
sense to ask Anna for some companionship instead of dialing 7 digits.
Joey said she was making him Lando Lake smoothies.
That's it. There you go. Eat some of this butter. Where the bread?
Oh, my
You don't
goodness.
need no bread. Just
And I'm
eat
like,
this butter.
This is good for you.
I'm like, if a 95-year-old who's about to give up the ghost had enough common sense to holler at someone who doesn't work in those professions, so should Kraft, who's
Yeah.
like, what, 30 years younger? Please,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, and he's not even all wrinkled up and funny looking yet. So he
Exactly.
has options.
Yeah.
Come on, Rob, man.
No.
We
Come
expect
on
more
now.
of you.
If
can jump on the treadmill,
Trump
you know?
could bag something good,
Yeah, Trump.
right? If Trump fat butt can bag something good,
Yeah, Trump.
trust me.
But you know what Trump did? Trump did exactly what we were talking about. Take your money and make it work for you. He now runs Miss America,
Right.
Miss Universe. Like he put himself in the room. Like you got to get
Literally.
something out of that.
Literally in the room.
In
It's
the room.
yours. It's
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no excuse.
You know, what's the rule of telemarketing? You could call 500 numbers. At some point, one person's going to say yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is a tough one.
He seemed like a nice guy too.
There has to be a reason why he went that route because so many more options available to him.
It was
He could have got on Singapore
I don't
Air.
know.
No, really though. Could he conceivably woken up in the morning or waking and he was like, my back hurts? Like literally went in just to get a lower back massage and it turned into something else. It could have easily happened.
And then
No,
he came back.
sorry. I don't
Yeah,
think that's
because
the
it
case.
went so
No
good
way.
the first time. I'm just saying, he
Is that-
literally could have had a back problem. Come on,
The
Doug.
man lives somewhere near Foxborough. There's no way that he's all of a sudden, look at my back hurts. I think I'm going to go to Jupiter, Florida and get it looked at. Really?
Right.
Stop
He
that.
has personal. Right. He don't even have to go
Exactly.
to Foxborough. All he has to do is make a call. Strength coach coming. Right away.
Exactly. He knew exactly where he was going, and he knew exactly what he would get when he got there, which is why he went supposedly off the grid where no one would find him.
That's
Not
why he
knowing
needs
that,
friends.
that
Well-
police officers have been investigating that place and him for months.
So much for being off the grid. You drive up in a Bentley? Come on, son.
Yeah, he
roll up in the Corolla.
Oh,
He
come
didn't
on.
utilize his.
How about that?
He didn't utilize his.
Have somebody drop you off around the block and
his
walk
status
in.
correctly. Because I mean,
Something.
even call the police
Well,
department.
Yeah.
Well,
Call
has
it-
he
you
ever
could-
heard of a Has he ever heard of a speakeasy?
Right.
Roll up in the alley around back and knock on a door. You know,
Right.
and someone
Yeah,
let
there's
you in
no
some
reason for
unmarked
it.
door. Do something.
What's the password?
There's no
Tom
reason
Brady.
for it. And I mean, he's got enough money for the
Exactly.
police department to tell him who they're investigating.
He could talk to any
And what-
cop in the
any
area.
Cop.
Yeah, he
He's
dropped
got
the ball.
money longer than
See,
train
this is why
smoke.
he needs boys right here. We would have got it. Rob, hit us up. Telling you, You be all right. You won't do
How
that
about
anymore.
this?
And you'll come out of there with a wife too, not some, something else. But you have
Right.
of a wife. Somebody
How
cares
about
about
this? Now, that he's single and all that loot, I don't even understand why he doesn't supposedly have somebody where he could just call whenever he gets into a particular state to come and hang out with him.
you. Yeah.
Like, something.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah.
I guess.
I keep trying to give him the benefit of
Right.
the doubt, but
It's tough to do because they give the players a really hard time. When players do this kind of stuff, they give it to you.
yeah.
No benefit of the doubt. And have a hard time having any incoming player come in, listen to Bill Belichick's thing about the Patriot way and doing things the right way and following the rules. Because players will be like, well, your owner's not following the rules.
It's
Why
the
should I?
Patriots way.
You know?
Okie doke.
Pretty much.
All right, Doug, man, it's great having
That's
you
crazy.
on. We're gonna have to have you on once
All
again.
right.
It's been good chopping
I
it up,
appreciate-
and again, Unmitigated Truth is the name of your show,
Yeah, mitigated truth. Thank you.
and we can
Appreciate
find
that.
you on YouTube, and we can find you on Facebook.
On Facebook. Yeah, I appreciate the look, fellas. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
All right,
No
man.
problem, man. Come back again.
Okay, no doubt.
All right.
Alrighty. Thank you.